Welcome, viewers. Welcome to the Spectra Art YouTube channel where we give education for skilled education. My name is Moses. I'll be taking you music. Today, we want to look at the topic, the Great Stave or staff, as you may call it. It's well spelled out here on the board. But before we go further, let us look at the notes that we put in on this Great Stave and other things that requires in music. Because a lot of people could understand the 5 lines and 4 spaces, but they cannot count the notes accurately, cannot differentiate which one counts 4 bits, which one counts 2 bits, which one counts 1 bit or half bit. So we'll breathe into that before we go to the Great Stave. Come with me. Let's go to the board as the class continues. Like I told us that the topic is identifications of notes on the Great Stave. But we'll look at different types of notes. Look at different types of notes. The first one I point out is semi-breve. Note, semi-breve is not the biggest note, not the longest duration note, but follows. The first one we are about to talk about is known as brave. Brave counts 8 bits, but it's not often used. So I decided to skip that and then go straight to semi-brave notes. Semi-brave notes here looks like an egg, but not an egg, and it counts 4 bits. So it has much more like the longest term duration in counting. Then follows its meaning. One thing about these notes is it keeps cutting into halves, semi-breve 4 bits, minim counts 2 bits, and then we have crochet counts 1 bit. See, it keeps dropping by half, right? Yes, keep dropping by half. Semi-breve 4 bits, and then minim 2 bits. That's half of semi-breve, and then I move into crochet half of minim. So take note of this. Now, what are the differences between the minim notes and crochet? A crochet note is shaded, while the minim note is not shaded. Minim counts 2 bits. It's made up of an oval shape and a stem. The stem could either be pointing up or pointing down. Likewise, the crochet also. It could either be pointing up or pointing down, as I've seen here on the board. Okay, now let's move to the Great Stave. Ta-da! Now, what is a Great Stave? Someone will ask you. The same way you have your right hand and your left hand. On your right hand, you have 5 fingers, and on your left hand, you have 5 fingers. Yes. So, bringing it together, I'm just trying to give us a simple illustration, a simple explanation that will help you and I to understand better. You bring in the 5 fingers on your right at the top as a treble stave, and the 5 fingers below on your left hand as your bass stave. Your treble stave here will have 5 lines. Your bass stave has 5 lines. Adding it together, it's supposed to be 10, right? Yes, it's supposed to be 10. But there's what we call an invisible line. Remember, in our previous class, you've been taught about ledger notes. You've been taught about ledger notes, or you might have come across the word ledger notes. Now, what is ledger notes? Ledger notes are notes written in a short additional line or an invisible line above or below the stave. Now, the stave could be treble stave or it could be bass stave. So, that bringing it together gives what we call a great stave or staff, as you may want to call it. Let's go to board. Now, let's see what we put together great stave. Note, you have to have your treble clef. Okay, bringing the treble stave here and then you also have to have your bass clef. The other you call this sign here on the stave is called treble clef. If you don't call it treble clef, you call it G clef. While this down one here, it's called bass clef. If you don't call it bass clef, you call it F clef. Good. This treble clef, it's used by female and children or people with high pitched voice while singing. Same applies to musical instruments. Musical instrument that has a high pitch sound. Example, your violin uses treble clef. Yes. For those of you that have seen my violin class, you will agree with me. Your keyboard uses treble clef and bass clef. Your soprano sax, your alto saxophone uses treble clef. Your clarinet uses treble clef. Your recorder uses treble clef. Your trumpet also uses treble clef. We have a lot of them like that. And we have also some instrument that uses bass clef. Example, your bass drum, your bass guitar, the French horn or tuba as you want to call it, they have also their clef. But the major one that we often use is the treble and bass clef. I know somebody wants to ask me about guitar. If you are talking about guitar, then that's why you also talk about yes, tap. Yes. Don't worry, we'll get into that pretty soon. Don't be distracted, stay with me. Okay, how do we link these two together? You bring in the treble stave, those 5 lines, and you put your treble stave on it. Same thing applies to the bass stave. You put in the bass stave and you bring them together. You join it with what we call bar line. This is it, bar line. Yes, bar line. Then you put it together, you couple it together with what we call brace. You couple it together with what we call brace. Okay. Now, note, bar line is often used to demarcate notes. It's often used to measure notes in each bar. Then we also have double bar lines. We also have double bar lines. When you see double bar lines like this, it simply tells you that the song or the piece you are playing has ended. But if you keep seeing each bar, it keeps telling you, okay, you've reached the measures, you move to another measures, you move to another measures. Okay, let's quickly go further. Counting the brave stave, you don't have to count 5 horizontal lines and 4 equal spaces for a stave. You add the two together, then you add a ledger line. So let's count together. You count from down to the top. Don't forget, the first line is down on your bass stave, line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here is the ledger notes. An invisible note that is here, the ledger note is 6. Then you come to your treble stave. Instead of to count 1 on your right hand, count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On a very good day, if you were to detach them, you have 5 plus 5 gives you 10. Right? Am I correct? But because of the ledger notes, you have the 6th line, which is known as the middle C. It's known as what? The middle C. Middle C, or on the keyboard. Yes, middle C on the keyboard. It is always at the ledger space. Then on the space, let's count from the space. If you wanted to count it following the normal sequence, then you don't want to go by the Great Stave pattern. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 4 gives us 8. But because of the ledger notes, we have to have a space immediately above after the 5th line, which becomes the 5th space, and below before the first line, which is the 6th space. So we have space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in a nutshell, A great stave or a grand stave gives us 11 lines and 10 spaces. To continue, we will further look at bringing the alphabets on the stave in our next class. See you